All right, so our next section is looking ahead, where we look to the future of technology, the future of the world, and we kind of have a sense of what's happening in the next 5 to 10 years. And in today's version, we're going to look first at a bit of gear, because we are both huge gearheads and we love buying tech. I was saying to Chad the other day, we buy too much gear sometimes. But there's been some really interesting launches in the last little bit, mostly focused around Apple. They've launched a brand new MacBook Pro and also some new headphones. And the MacBook Pro is Apple's leading device. It is their most powerful device, and so a brand new one always brings a lot of controversy, a lot of discussion, and mostly about the keyboard. So I'm going to leave it to you, Chad. What do you think about the new MacBook Pro and the new keyboard that actually is the old keyboard?
Yeah, so as you said, they've kind of come out now and basically gone back on one of their previous models, essentially with this keyboard design. So previously we were under the scissor mechanism, then they changed it to the butterfly mechanism, and now we're back to the scissor again. So essentially this is their second MacBook Pro that they've released this year. There is already a 2019 model. This is the 16-inch, and what you've seen people raving about is something as simple as the keyboard. Now, I'm not sure if you've seen much about this in the press, but what do you think, Barry?
Yeah, so I've seen a lot about it in the press. I haven't actually used the butterfly keyboard myself, so I don't know why everyone is so angry, but everyone is angry about the butterfly keyboard. And I've seen so many scathing hit pieces about this keyboard. And it's fascinating to see, as you say, the keyboard doesn't seem like it should be that big a deal when it comes to specs, and there's a lot of other things to focus on. But when the original laptop came out, everyone was talking about the keyboard, and everyone realized, okay, this is why I care about a keyboard, because a bad one is really annoying. Yeah. And so it's interesting to see them listening to the market, listening to all the people talking about it, and going back to what they were at beforehand. So I think it's interesting. I think that Apple have got a lot better at listening to their audience and listening to the people who care about their products. I think during the Steve Jobs era, they just kind of went straight ahead and didn't really care what anyone else thought. They were just designing what they thought was best. And when you don't have a Steve Jobs to make that vision, it becomes a bit difficult, right? And so you actually do need to listen to the market. Have you used any of these keyboards, Chad?
So I actually own a butterfly keyboard myself. I went into it knowing that it was very controversial and has received a lot of hatred along the web. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the reasons for it, the fact that the new model is slightly thicker leads me to believe that one of the reasons they went for this butterfly sort of mechanism was to, reduce the footprint of the actual laptop. Now, one of the things with the keyboard, and obviously the more conventional types, is the travel being the amount that the key actually moves when your finger strikes it. Secondly, it was quite noisy. So yeah, you basically hear clickety-clack quite loud. It could come across as a bit of a trivial issue, but when you're in a quiet room, you are the most annoying guy in the room. And of course, the sort of other thing is reliability. So these butterfly keys had developed a susceptibility to sticky keys. So you would basically push a key and it would sort of repeat the key 3 or 4 times. And so as a result of that, Apple released a sort of protection program where they would replace these defective keyboards if they arose. Not every single one of them had this issue, but if your keyboard did have that issue, basically it would be covered under this program. And that was seen for the 2019 MacBook Pro. Now, obviously, we've seen a new one released. They're clearly getting annoyed with basically the wrong move that they made themselves. And as you say, I think it's great that they're listening to feedback. This being something that has caused a lot of MacBook users to switch to Windows. Yeah. So it clearly was something that was very important. And I think if users have other things on their shopping list, I've heard loads of people talking about USB-C coming to the iPhone. Hopefully they'll be listening to that, because I think that's annoying a couple of people as well.
Across the pond with Barry and Chad.